Very good morning, students. So, in your geography book, we have covered your first chapter, the Earth in the solar system. Fine, हम chapter 1 को पढ़ चुके हैं, समझ चुके हैं, ठीक है. So, today we will cover your DIGI class of chapter 1, the Earth in the solar system. ठीक है, हम solar system को the moon, the sun, stars, universe, solar system ये सब के बारे में DIGI क्लास में समझेंगे. ठीक है. तो स्टार्ट करते हैं हम आज अपनी डीजी क्लास चैप्टर 1 के लिए.
If you look carefully at the moon, you can probably see a man on the moon. Some of you may see a rabbit or even an old woman on the moon. Is there really a man on the moon, or are these just interesting shapes on the moon's surface? What are these dark and light areas on the moon? When you look at the moon at night, do you notice that its shape keeps changing? How does the moon change its shape? For many centuries, the moon was a mysterious object in the sky. Avid curiosity about it led to many expeditions to the moon. But so far, only 12 men have stepped on the lunar surface. Do you know who the first human to walk on the moon was? Let's try and answer all these interesting questions. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! The mission landing on the moon has begun. Apollo 11's journey to the moon took 3.5 days. On 21st July 1969, the spacecraft Apollo 11 landed on the moon. Astronaut Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the moon. When Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon, he said, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." What did he mean by this statement? The moon is a solid, rocky body. Its surface is covered by a 2-inch thick layer of soft dust. It has huge mountains, plains, and deep pits called craters. From the Earth, these deep craters and huge mountains appear as dark and light areas. Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin explored the moon's surface and collected many samples. The moon is a natural satellite of Earth. Unlike the Earth, the moon has no atmosphere or water. Therefore, there is no wind, no clouds, and no rain. During the day, the moon becomes boiling hot, and at night it becomes freezing cold. Can you explain why? The moon lacks atmosphere. This blanket of air plays an important role in regulating the temperature of a celestial body. Without an atmosphere, the moon is not protected from the intense heat of the sun during the day, and its temperature soars. At night, all the heat escapes into space, and the moon becomes freezing cold. Do you think there is life on the moon? The moon and Earth are 4.5 billion years old. The moon is 1/4 the size of the Earth. Have you ever wondered why things fall down and not up? The Earth has a strong force of attraction. It pulls everything towards it. This force is called gravity. The moon's force of gravity is 1/6 that of the Earth, because it is smaller than the Earth. If a frog can jump 1 meter high on the Earth, how high will it be able to jump on the moon? On the moon, a frog will be able to jump 6 times the distance it can on Earth. Now, let's discuss why the moon appears to change its shape every day. We know that the Earth revolves around the Sun and the moon orbits around the Earth. It is due to the revolution of the moon around the Earth that the moon appears to change its shape every day. These different shapes of the moon as seen from the Earth are called phases of the moon. The moon has no light of its own, so how can we see it? You know that road studs are used to guide drivers at night. These road studs emit no light of their own, yet we can see them at night because they reflect the light that falls on them. In a similar way, we can see the moon from Earth because the moon reflects the sunlight that falls on it. It acts like a big round mirror. Let's use an activity to help us understand the phases of the moon. Here, the projector represents the sun, and the ball represents the moon. Let's represent the Earth and stand behind the ball, In this position, the side of the moon facing us gets no light at all. We cannot see the moon. This is called new moon. As the moon moves along its orbit around the Earth, a small portion of the side facing us gets lit up by sunlight, and we can see the phase called the crescent moon. With the change in the position of the moon in relation to the Earth and the Sun, we start to see an increasingly greater part of the moon. After about 7 days, we can see half of the illuminated part of the moon. After about 3 more days, even more of the moon is lit up, and we see 3/4 of the moon. This is the gibbous moon. In 2 weeks, the entire side facing us is lit up by sunlight. We can then see the full moon. This is the brightest phase of the moon. After this phase, the lit part of the moon facing us gets smaller and smaller, and the dark, unlit part of the moon keeps increasing. We now see all the phases appear in reverse formation. At the end of the month, we see the new moon fade again. Remember that no matter what phase the moon is in, one half of the moon is always lit up by the sun. The different shapes of the moon that we see from Earth are only due to the different positions that the moon takes up as it orbits around the Earth relative to the sun. Did you know that from the Earth only one side of the moon is visible? The same side of the moon is always facing towards the Earth. The moon revolves around the Earth in about 28 days, and this is the time it takes to rotate once about its own axis also. Click on the orbit to find the different phases. Today, Annie is very happy as it is a Sunday, and Sunday is a holiday. Did you know that Sunday is named after the sun? Annie loves to draw. She has made a bright yellow sun in her drawing book. When seen very closely through a telescope, the sun looks like this. It is a big ball of hot and burning gases. The sun is very important for both plants and animals to stay alive. Let us learn more about the sun. When you see the sun from Earth, it looks very small in the sky. Actually, it is very large in size. It is so huge that about 1 million Earths would fit into the sun. Why do you think the sun looks so small from the Earth? Let's try to understand this. Annie is on the terrace of a very tall building. From the terrace, she can see cars parked in the parking lot. The cars look very small from a distance. In the same way, the sun too appears very small when seen from the Earth because it is very far away from it. When we look up in the sky during the day, we see the sun shining brightly. Have you ever wondered from which direction the sun rises and sets? Let us try to find out with the help of a compass. The compass helps us to locate the four directions. The four directions are north, south, east, and west. The sun rises in the east. And sun sets in the west. When the sun shines brightly in the sky, it is daytime. The sun gives us light and helps us to see the things around us. Have you ever wondered what would happen if there was no sun? Discuss in class. Annie likes to play outside with her friends. They all love it when the day is bright and sunny. Can you think of more ways in which sun's light helps you every day? Discuss in class. Annie also helps around the house. She is helping her mother to hang out the wet clothes outside. How do the clothes get dry? The heat from the sun helps to dry the wet clothes quickly. Annie is now helping her mother clean up the mess on the table. And she is a bit surprised when she touch the spoon. Do you know why? Discuss in class.
सी स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे क्या पूछ रहे हैं? ये पूछ रहे हैं कि एनी ने जब स्पून को विंडो के पास रखा तो वो गर्म कैसे हो गई? कैसे गर्म हो गई? क्योंकि हमें पता है जो सन है वो क्या एमिट करता है? हीट एंड लाइट। तो हीट से क्या है, उसकी जो स्पून है वो गर्म हो गई है, ठीक है। और कपड़े कैसे सुखाए उसने? सन की हीट की हेल्प से ही, ठीक है। और जब वो प्ले ग्राउंड में प्ले करने जाती है, दैट मीन्स सन की लाइट में वो प्ले कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो सन की जो हीट एंड लाइट है वो कैसे हमारे डे टू डे लाइफ में हमें काम आती है, वो सारा आपको यहाँ पे बताया गया है, ठीक है। कि कैसे एनी जब प्ले ग्राउंड में प्ले करने जाती है तो दिन की रोशनी में जाती है, ठीक है। कपड़े सुखाती है तो सूरज की धूप में सुखाती है। और कैसे उसकी स्पून गर्म हो गई? क्योंकि वो सन की हीट की वजह से गर्म हो गई, ठीक है।
The spoon is warm. The heat from the sunlight made the spoon warm. So, now you know that sun gives us heat too. Did you know that heat of sun can also be used to cook food, heat water, or even run a television? Solar cookers, solar water heaters, and solar batteries use heat of the sun to function. Have you ever seen a solar battery or solar cooker? Discuss in class. The plants also need sunlight to make their food. Without the sun, all plants would die. Discuss what would happen if there were no plants on Earth. Did you know that there are millions of objects in the sky that are huge balls of burning gases? These objects are called the stars. From the Earth, the stars appear as small twinkling bright spots of light. On a clear night, you can see the whole sky filled with stars. Just like the sun, the stars produce their own light. The stars are round, just like the sun. Tonight, Annie cannot see the stars in the sky. When there are many clouds, we cannot see the stars. Just like the sun, the stars are also bigger than the Earth. But because they are very, very far away from the Earth, we see them as small twinkling spots in the sky. Did you know that the closest star to the Earth is the Sun? Annie loves to see groups of stars form different shapes in the sky. These groups of stars are called constellations. The shapes formed by the constellations have names. The Orion, the Great Bear, etc. are the names of some constellations. Have you heard of the pole star? The pole star is a star which is the brightest of all and prominently visible from the Earth. The Great Bear pattern helps us to locate the pole star. When you follow these stars in an arrow, they point towards the pole star. While looking at the twinkling stars at night, have you ever wondered where they go during the day? The stars do not go anywhere. It's just that we can't see these stars because of the brightness of the sun. It may surprise you to know that the sun is also a star. Like other stars, the sun has its own heat and light. And just as we all have a family, the sun too has its own family, which is called the solar system. Let's visit the solar system and learn more about the sun and its family. The sun is the chief member of the family because it binds all the members together. The sun is a blazing hot ball. It provides heat and light to our world. Let's now learn about the other members of the family. These 8 spherical members are called planets. Planets do not have their own light and heat. They shine because of the light from the sun. Where are all the planets going? Let's follow them. They are moving around the sun in a fixed path. And this path is called an orbit. The planets are very small when compared to the sun. Let's now meet each planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Mercury is the fastest and smallest planet in the entire family. The next member looks very bright. It's Venus, the hottest and brightest planet in our solar system. Moving on, here's a planet you would surely recognize. It's our home planet, the planet in which we all live, the Earth. It's a unique member of the solar system because it is the only planet known to have life. It's the 5th largest planet in the solar system. The next member and our neighbor is the planet Mars. the red planet. It's red in color because of its striking geographical features, such as its red soil. This planet looks really huge. This planet is 11 times bigger than our Earth. It's called Jupiter, the biggest planet of our solar system. Moving on, this many-ringed planet is called Saturn. The planet's ring system is the most complex one in the solar family. The rings consist of ice and ice particles. There is something strange about this planet. Oh, it's spinning sideways, and it is glowing in a lovely blue-green color. This is Uranus. Now, let's meet Neptune, the 8th planet. This bright blue planet is the outermost planet in our solar system. Did you know that until the year 2006, the solar system was considered to have 9 planets and not 8? The 9th planet was Pluto, which is now no longer considered a planet. Venus is known as Earth's twin because both the planets are similar in size and shape. If you find it difficult to remember the names of these planets, just remember the sentence. My very elegant mom just served us noodles. Let's learn about the other members of the solar system. A planet can have its own companions. These companions go around the planet and are called satellites. For example, the Earth as a satellite. Can you guess its name? Yes, the Moon is a satellite which keeps revolving around the Earth. All planets except Mercury and Venus have their own satellites. Between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, there are numerous tiny bodies that move around the Sun. These are called asteroids. The solar system also has beautiful bodies made out of dust particles and frozen gases. These are called comets. There are other small pieces of rocks that move around the Sun. These are called meteoroids. So, you have learnt about the stars, sun, planets, satellites, asteroids, meteorites, and comets. These are also called celestial bodies. So, what lies beyond the solar system? There are a cluster of millions of stars. And these stars form the Milky Way galaxy. This galaxy is the home to our solar system. Is the Milky Way the only galaxy? No, there are innumerable galaxies that together form the universe. Let's do a quick recap.